Hi, I'm Zion,
And I'm Judah.
and this is the Amateur Film Critics. Woohoo!
I don't even
And
want to
I'm
be here
so
today talking about this movie, Zion.
no. Before we get started today, I'm
Oh,
so excited because I got this very exciting letter in the mail today. I'm so excited about this. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's gonna be a good letter. I feel like this is gonna be a good letter. Oh my gosh.
are you gonna read it aloud? What's it
We're
say?
losing our farm. We're
Zion,
losing
no,
our farm.
we don't own a farm, Zion.
We're
We don't even
losing
know
our.
how to garden.
I'm sorry, but the the bank is taking our farm away because we haven't made our loan payments yet
We've never
on all
taken
this
out a
debt.
loan. We're too young to do that.
Of course, I am joking, but by the way, the actual paper says I don't know if you can read it, but
Today we're talking about Gumby, the
yes,
movie. This exists, and
movie.
even worse, I believe it was meant to be the first of a series of movies. Because in the beginning of the movie, do you notice that they
Plus
pull up the
Gumby
title that says
one.
Gumby
Yeah,
One,
Gumby
as if they
one.
were going to make more of these? Thank goodness they didn't. I'm pretty sure this bombed so hard that they didn't make any more. But this was supposed to
Well,
be the first
more
of a
recent.
series.
He they they released it straight to video at first, but that they can
Mm-hmm.
only get a limited amount of movie theaters to actually run the film, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's probably why it didn't do so well because not a lot of theaters even
I,
got it in.
I think
So
that there are other reasons that it didn't do so well too. Um, but
well, the other
let's talk
reason
about
is
this movie. Let's get right
okay
into it before we start arguing, since I think we're gonna have a slightly different views about this movie.
because I know the
Um,
other. Yeah.
uh, Here's our plot. I'm sorry, this movie, man, it really messed with me. In this offshoot of the 1950s claymation cartoon series, the crazy blockheads threatened to ruin Gumby's benefit concert by replacing the entire city of Cloaky Town with robots.
So wait, that's what IMBD said the
The,
plot.
okay. I
IMDb
mean,
said that
that's a
what the
good
plot
idea,
was,
but there's
but
so much more.
I know that is not even
Like,
half of the plot. That's not even
so
plus plus that's they're kind of lying to you because that's not even what they're trying to do. They're just trying to
yeah, that's not at all. Like, they're not
by
trying to
replacing
replace
the
the
city.
entire city. They're just trying to
No,
replace Gumby.
they
They're not
just
trying to ruin
want.
the benefit concert. They're trying to just
Yeah, and they're not even trying to replace Gumby. They just took his dog and are trying to get the
hmm
pearls dropping from his eyes to
yeah,
make a lot of cash. But
yeah,
that
and
is
I feel like that
no,
sentence you just said, they're not even trying to replace Gumby. They're trying to get the pearls from the dog's eyes. That's just so
that is,
chaotic to say aloud. And yet that's the plot of this movie, y'all.
that is part of the
Um
movie. I've seen
so
this movie. I get. I saw this movie as a child. So as a
you poor
child,
child.
as a child, we weren't allowed to watch a lot of stuff that was actually on TV at the moment. So as a child, I went through a Gumby phase, kind of. So there was
What?
not a very long phase, but
Thank
I
goodness.
not a very long phase. Probably because of this movie, I just found a bunch of Gumby clips. No, like
Mm-hmm.
shorts, and I watched. It wasn't a very long phase, but that's why I bought the pop figure. But
That's why
I
you have the
mean,
Gumby pop.
I don't know why I was in
After
Gumby phase.
seeing
Probably because
this
I found it
movie,
was so a weird movie.
after seeing this
Because
movie, I know that I can live without the Gumby pop. Um, that's a for sure thing with me. But let's just go over the plot a little bit. The first thing that's barely brought up in this movie that I just need to talk about with you are Gumby and the horse supposed to be alien clay things?
so that is a later topic. I put how this movie begins. I should have
That
also
is
added
true.
to that topic how it ends as well,
Since
because the
that's
whole yeah, it's
all right,
kind of
yeah. So we
related.
can get into that
But
later. Then let's just give a as quick a possible run over of this crazy plot. So Gumby
how
and the horse
so yeah.
are split up.
So they are split up, and then and then while Pokey is trying to find Gumby, their two friends, which their two friends are one's a yellow dinosaur, and the other is a blue airplane girl type
Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't know how to describe
Ish.
them. They're
Just a blue
ish.
girl, really.
It's
Yeah.
hard to describe, but yeah. So they come down a slide for no reason at all, and they mix with Pokey, and so they're sent to a lab where their genes have to be like physically lit up, but that splits them into multiple people.
Yep.
This never comes back into the movie,
Not
by the
once.
way.
And
It
this is
is just
done
a
within the
weird.
first 10 minutes. You're just like, what?
Oh,
And yeah, and the doctors are horrifying, but we'll talk more about the animation later.
yeah.
Uh, from
I mean,
there, after they get split
we
up, they
also
go
missed
searching for Pokey.
the firehouse scene, though. We also missed the firehouse where I'll just say one quick thing about the firehouse. In the firehouse, so while Pokey is looking for Gumby in the firehouse, while out the pole thing where the firemen slide down on, you
Yeah.
know, Saddam them coming down at him. And like they say a phrase to Pokey where he says, "Hey, you should not keep such ending there," implying that he does this. No, he has stood that close before for some
Mm-hmm.
reason. But yeah, I just found that weird. But many ways, so they go and eventually they come to this farm book. No. So they go
No.
look for Gumby in the books, and one scene, Gumby looks at these kind of racist people,
No.
like
Very
oh,
racist
jeez,
depiction of
very
Native
racist
Americans.
people.
Uh,
And so yeah, so he is going to these into these books and seeing these people dancing.
yeah.
Uh, they aren't all racial stereotypes, but
Uh,
I mean they're
all
just
pretty close, I
different.
would say, if not
Pretty
exactly.
close.
Uh,
Yeah, and so then after that they go to this farm book, and so in this farm book they are going to their house, but then these old woman keep pulling out their mailboxes and seeing these letters, and they keep painting in the middle of the road, mind
yes.
you, in the middle of
Yeah,
the
in the
road
middle of the
where they
road, they
get run
faint.
over.
And
So
this
we
is
find
when we
out that
discover
the
that they.
blockheads. No, do the block because the blockheads are the one that put those letters in.
The
So are
blockheads
they
own the
the ones
bank.
who are? Do they
They're
own
the
the
ones who
bank?
are giving out
But
these
then they
loans.
get sent to jail, and so so in the end of the movie, does Gumby just give the money to the blockheads where they could totally just buy themselves out of
Fine, I don't think this part
this?
of the plot was thought over very hardly when writing this
That was
movie.
it.
I'm just gonna
I
say
just
that
thought
right
of
now. Uh,
that.
but it is. But going back to this point in the movie, these old women find out that they're losing their farms and they weren't able to make any money because of a drought last
so
year. That does not really matter that much. But Gumby decides that he's going to raise the
so
money.
Gumby and
And
his rock band.
luckily, him and his band have already been planning a concert, so they're going to use this concert to
yeah,
raise money.
yes.
Now,
So
fast forward to the concert. This concert is so rocking for some reason. Literally, everyone is unconsciously like dancing to their music, and Gumby's doing all
like,
these sweet
isn't this the
tricks.
same? Yeah, isn't this the same where like Gumby keeps like 20 like forming himself into different things?
Yeah,
Right.
he's forming himself into
I missed
different
that.
things. There are people talking about how they unconsciously can't not dance, and then the dog it starts crying, and we don't know
Okay.
why he's crying, but he's not just
Well, we
crying
know
regular
what.
tears. Mm-mm.
Well, I think we do know. I think it's been made out
It's
that this one
explained
for in
later
film.
why.
It's. I mean, it's explained in the film, but with context clues, you can figure out pretty easily why he's crying. It's
I don't
because
know,
Gumby
man.
keeps warming this puddle, and so he thinks that Gumby has died, and so he cries because he thinks Gumby has died
I,
and born into
I
this puddle, and so
I
that's
thought that I thought
predicted.
like the dog was crying just because of the like hypnotic like uh effect of the music. Like rather than making the dog want to dance, it makes the dog want to cry. I had no idea at this point in the movie why the dog wanted to cry, but the dog was crying real pearls.
Real pearls,
Why?
which
Because
they
the dog
explain they're
can.
very valuable.
They're very
It's
valuable.
not
Yes.
explained why. Well, all of these creatures have some kind of magic abilities,
But
so
do they? Is
that's
my
some
thing. I
magic
really don't
ability.
get that feeling
Well,
from them.
Gummy can shapeshift into objects. Pokey, I guess, also can shapeshift into stuff as well, but just not as powerful as Gumby can.
I
The blue girl can fly. The yellow dinosaur just doesn't have any. No, the yellow dinosaur just is very like no, arky and kind of rude to people.
mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's not really a superpower, but that's all he has. So,
All
and
right,
then
now,
this dog can cry tears. No,
uh,
tears of pearls.
yeah, the dog can cry tears of pearls. Fast forwarding through this plot a little bit, the blockheads see that it can cry tears, so they decide they're gonna steal it. And so when they get the chance, they steal it, take it back to their book lab thing, and replicate a robot version of it, um, and give
Well,
it
then
and
it
replace it, right? So
but the
now
failure of all of their robotics is they just
they don't
not
like
work
water.
with water. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's the failure. With water is literally
which is hinted
in a
throughout the
lot of
movie.
places. Yeah, it's
It is, yeah. Um, when they they think it's the music that is making the dog cry, so they try to play a recording of the music, and this does not make the dog cry pearls. So what they do is they go
then they think
steal Gumby in the
it's the
gang.
actual.
Yes, they steal Gumby in the
Well,
gang.
how they steal them is while they have stolen the dog and are trying to create the robot, this producer guy comes to them and he's been at their concert. He likes their music, and he's a music producer, and so
No,
he wants to basically
he's a
put
TV
Gumby
like
onto
music producer.
MTV. Yeah, yeah, he wants to make a
Like
music video for MTV. He mentions MTV, I think.
I don't know if they mentioned MTV by name, but he might. Yeah, it
Yeah,
might have
yeah,
said
he might
music
have.
video TV, but
Yeah,
I don't know if that was just supposed to be a description of it or if that was supposed to be a legit
yeah.
thing.
I
But
don't know either.
so
But
they
anyway, that is not bad,
impersonate people who work for him and they freeze them in the back of their like refrigerator truck, and that's how
basically.
they they steal them. Um, Luckily, two fangirls were stalking them and followed them all the way over to the book lab. And they save Gumby before like he gets locked away,
Uh
right?
huh.
Yeah, they save Gumby. So Gumby runs off and just gets chased by his robotic self. And
Well,
Am I
he
missing stuff?
Gumby no they so they so the Blackhead dudes find out that Pokey, Blue Girl, and Yellow Dinosaur are have found out their plan and are gathering people up to try and stop them. And
Mm-hmm.
so they send the Gumby robot. I think they have stopped him, but stopped them, but then they escape somehow and have sent the Gumby robot to capture the girl. And so Gumby finds out that they have actually captured the girl and runs off to try and stop
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
them, and that's why they do that. My concern is, well, why don't they just use the controls to stop the? No, are they? I forget where they are in this point.
They don't have the blockheads are not captured yet. The blockheads still have control over the robots, I
Okay,
believe.
they are
So,
still in a
and
different.
that leads
Oh,
to our
they're in a
Gumby
different.
chase scene where robot Gumby chases regular Gumby through a
Yes.
multitude of books, from a medieval one where there's like this whole night fight, and that was kind of weird, but it wasn't as weird as the Star Wars fight,
Oh
um,
yes,
where
they
they get
at one
lightsabers.
they get. Oh, so they find lightsabers, and the actual Gumby cuts off one of the robot Gumby's hand,
Mm-hmm.
just like Luke Skywalker's hand is cut
Yep.
off, and so
And
they even go to the bridge scene from Empire Strikes Back,
yeah,
where Darth
it's not
Vader.
exactly like that, but it's pretty much that.
It's
It's
not
crazy, man.
exactly, but pretty much
Um,
that, and
Gumby
so
gets chopped into
I can
6 baby Gumbies. I know,
you know
and
that.
Gumby escapes the book with his life, uh, to just get picked up by one of the stalker girls. Who there's a little love connection between them, but it's barely hinted at until the very end. But they get picked up and they call for Gumby's firefighter dad, who shows up just in time to spray Robot Gumby with water, essentially killing Robot
Yes,
Gumby.
killing the
Uh,
robots.
and then they go back and they stop the blockheads. I don't remember how, but they do. Uh,
They send the so they get this work bee kind of, and so the work bee keeps frantically building boxes around the blockheads, but
mm-hmm.
oh darn, he didn't bring his whistle that so adopts the work bee, and so it builds a cage around the blue girl who they were trying to protect or get back. So not the blue fangirl, but the blue flying
The
girl.
blue, the blue flying girl. Yeah.
But anyway, so they get back, and so yeah, they get back, and Gumby's band starts performing, but all of us sudden the blue fan girl is now at the top of the barn where they're filming, and so she now has this perfect voice, which is also not hinted at,
Mm-hmm.
and sings Gummy and hers love song, and so they go through that whole scene. It's probably the coolest scene in the film, just because it's weird
Sure.
animation.
Yeah. The very
Yeah,
strange, really
very.
long music video sequence goes on. Uh,
It's
Finally,
supposed to
there's
show their love, which doesn't last
yeah.
very long, because
Mm-hmm.
then they show the farmers that they have a picnic for all the
Yeah, they have a
farmers and
picnic
tell
for
them
all the
that.
farmers,
But my
and
problem in that scene is that none of the women that have fainted are were at the picnic. Like none of them are at the picnic, and so
I don't.
eh,
Maybe that might be true. Yeah, I don't know. But at the
I did
picnic,
not
they
see
announced
you.
that they've raised enough money between the music video money and the Pearl money to give out loans at 3.5 interest to all the farmers to save their farms. So yay farmers, and the blockheads
They
are now working for like as just farm
what the
hands for
yellow
some
dinosaur
reason. But yeah,
or
the
the yellow
dinosaurs
dinosaur.
boss them around, and then finally we have the weird ending where Pokey and Gummy go back
We're
to
gonna
space,
explain all
which
that
we'll
in
talk about
later.
that later.
We'll talk
Now,
about what
as far as the plot goes, it's a mess.
it's.
It's all so all over the place. It literally and it's both predictable yet unpredictable in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. It goes a lot of places where you're not expecting to, but
But at
that
the
can be a
same
good
time, they're
thing, and
so
that can also be
tropey.
a bad
Like
thing.
everything's really tropey, and does that make sense?
Are they though? What?
I would say
What?
the
What?
stuff's like, oh,
What?
the farms need help, and we're gonna do a band. Like that's kind of that's a big trope in
That
my
that
opinion.
was very early on in the movie.
Yeah, that was early on in the movie, and
Very
then
early on,
like, uh,
and then
okay, the
things get
robot thing
very
that might be
with the
original,
robot.
but at the same time, because this is such a kids movie, you can sort of predict everything they're gonna do in a way, except for when you get to that
Even
chase
when they
sequence, which
go
was
into the
just
Star Wars
pure
book,
chaos.
and when they turn the dog into this robot dog, and so they're trying to
Mm,
place it. I
yeah,
agree and disagree, because they are pulling very early on plot points in the movie, and we're not.
well, yeah, but the you can't agree that it's messy though. It's all over the place, and
It's a messy plot, but not really that tropey, in my opinion.
I I here's the problem. In my opinion, a lot of it was just like a lot of the plot was boring, and that goes to the
I mean,
dialogue
what
partially too.
is the full low next is talking about? No, think the animation.
The
We're gonna
animation is
move
next.
the flow plot. We're gonna throw.
Yeah, let's talk
We're
about the
gonna move
flow.
the decimal points along. Talk about
Yeah,
flow since you're already talking about it.
yeah,
The
the flow it
character, how
moves.
the characters talk is very slowly. I could see that. You
Yeah,
know,
and stuff sort of happens slowly, especially in the beginning. Um,
I mean, that could be. You know, that could be something we didn't have to talk about if this movie was actually made in the 70s or the 60s. But no. And you know
this was
what
the
year this came
90s.
out?
It was the 90s,
1995.
right?
Yeah,
95. Ooh.
1995. The
Yeah,
same
it's
year, that the Brady Bunch Mama Hoopy came out, and just
geez,
wanna
1995 was a bad year for movies. No, I'm joking.
just I'm getting the call.
No. No, but it's got this super weird flow of it, and it is what you said about it. If it was the 70s, that's a good point because it is more reminiscent of the flow of
Yeah,
movies from the like 60s 70s. But the problem is its plot, its story like that isn't good enough to have a slower flow to it.
yeah.
It feels like it's got the plot of a kids movie and it's got like the characters of a kids movie, so therefore those usually go along with more high energy things, and so it feels weird and it gets really boring in my opinion.
The earlier parts, I say the earlier part get kind of not very exciting in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the later half of the movie gets more interesting because
Yeah,
of how dumb the plot gets, and so I
yeah,
think the later parts are more interesting than the earlier parts. So I don't know, but
and I think another thing that contributes to the weird flow of it is that it's stop motion animation, which just brings us into our next topic, which is animation. So
I
it
liked the animation of the actual. I liked. I thought it was so weird. It was enjoyable. The only
okay.
problem I had was the design of when they try to make actual human characters.
Yeah, that was
Those
my biggest
were
problem
pretty
with the
bad.
animation.
That
Those
was
were
the
just
worst.
creepy. Those were awful to
Those
look
were,
at.
those were the only bad animation parts was when they tried to make actual human characters.
Actual human beings.
Those
Yeah.
didn't look good, but the rest of it I thought wasn't that bad. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
I kind of
I'm personally
because
not
if
the
it's
hugest
yeah,
fan. Sorry, you go first.
you go first.
Okay. I'm personally not the hugest fan of like stop motion animation. But like I can see the appeal of it. It's got a cool look to it, and you can be very artsy with it. And I
Yeah,
bet if you're like if you were a big fan of like Gumby back in his heyday, then the stop motion animation, the
and you
design of the
probably
characters,
yeah,
it's more enjoyable to you than it would be to like me.
yeah.
So the animation doesn't do much to me, but I think that's just my personal taste. Like
I'm gonna
other
say
than
some
those human
yeah.
characters, those are like the only like
This,
things I could really
yeah.
down on about the animation.
Let me say something that I thought this movie was better than another stop motion animated film. I'm gonna say which one, but please don't hate me in the comments. I know this is a very popular one, but don't
I think
hate
I know.
me. I know you won't hate me because you don't also care for this
I
film.
don't
But,
know. I mean, I know. I
but,
know. I
but
think you know the film you're gonna say, and I don't necessarily
I
love this film.
enjoyed.
But I think the animation might be better than this one.
You can clip this if you actually want. I doubt you are, but I enjoyed the Gumby movie better than Nightmare Before Christmas. I know that's gonna get a lot of people mad, but I'm
That is
sorry. I'm not the
sorry.
hugest fan of Nightmare.
That's good
Not
enough
the
to
hugest
like
fan
you
of
could get
Nightmare.
canceled for that. Holy cow! No, I'm joking. But
I mean,
like,
not actually
wow.
canceled. But,
No, that's not
I
cancel
mean,
worthy. But geez, that is a lot. That might be
my
the biggest
reason why
unpopular
for that one,
opinion
they
that you've
probably the
ever
biggest
said.
one.
That's
But my
holy
opinion is
cow.
that the Oogie Boogie character, the Oogie Boogie character has no. They don't give him a reason to kidnap Saint Claus. He just does. You know, I don't think they ever
Yeah.
say an exact reason on why he wants to kidnap Santa Claus. Also, I don't know. I mean, sure, the characters are more depth in that one, but this plot gets so weird, and so the thing about Nightmare is that they don't. What am I trying to say here? Is that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
story doesn't go a lot of places. It just
yeah.
mainly they're trying to prepare for Christmas. Like I know some of the characters get in depth, but to me, I thought the story was more enjoyable than that one. So
Yeah, and I think Nightmare Before Christmas is an okay movie. Like it's very mediocre in my opinion. Uh I'm not like a hater of it though. Like I hated the Gumby movie. So
right,
and I know that there are people that like have like some serious nostalgia and they love this film, but especially animation wise, you're not saying that the animation what like which one would you say has better animation? Because this is where I would like throw hands with you.
well, they have different styles. You
They
know,
have
it's
very different
hard to compare
styles.
the two because they're very different. I look see one is more tries to be more creepier. The other tries to be more lighthearted. So it's very hard to compare the two. You know,
I
when it
don't
comes
think
to different
it
things.
is. I think that the animation Nightmare Before Christmas is just better because one, it's more it
I
has a more
thought
creative. It's and two, it takes it's more detailed. It seems higher quality in my opinion than the Gumby movies.
okay. Well, I don't care. I still enjoyed the Gummy movie better than Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my god, that opinion though, that
Fight
is
me all
like.
you want. Fight me all you want.
I mean, I'm not. I don't care as much about that opinion as other people would, but like, geez, that's such
Fight the
a
power. Fight the power.
no. I have
Oh
this
no
pop.
no
He'll
no
fight you, man.
no no no! Fight the power.
I have this pop because it was on sale, by the way. This was like a very random pop for me to get, but yeah. So let's finally talk about I think the weirdest part of it, which was this idea that the way it began and
How it
ended.
begins and how it.
Is there an explanation for
So
that from like the original anime, like
in
PSAs or
the
whatever they were?
in the fourth, that they weren't PSAs, but in the
They weren't
first,
PSAs.
they were not PSAs.
Okay.
But anyways, um, and, and the first Gumby short, Gumby built a rocket to even fly out to outer space. To fly to the moon.
Yeah.
I'll show a clip if I can, but and the first short with the actual Gumby character,
Yeah.
they he flies to the moon, even which is in outer space. Now, so this is a new. This is something just for the movie that they did, where Gumby is a.
And like,
This
why is the question?
it reminds me of.
It
So first, it's this gray rectangular shape like the one in 2001: A Space.
yeah, like the block from 2000, and it
At
splits into
first,
the two colors of
they're
Pokey and
connected.
Gumby.
They're con- they're
Yeah, they're
connected
connected.
together
They're
when a
fused,
space.
kind of like in the
See,
beginning when they pulled apart
no,
the clay, but like they showed in the middle there were bits that were black or whatever. So
my theory. My theory is that the gray triangle, no, the gray rectangle in 2001: A Space Odyssey was actually Gumby the entire time. So Gumby is just this immortal
Cyan,
being that will
no,
last.
Cyan, please, no, just no, 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 no. That's so
I made the
terrifying.
apes who they are. I made the apes.
Okay, well, yeah, but it's just weird. So
It's
and it
weird.
creates more plot
So
holes. This whole
then it
idea that they're
shows,
aliens sent from space to like help the farmers or whatever it was, like,
and
because
then,
they already have
and also
relationships down
there,
there. They already know people. Yet
and also there's this alien on this planet, and he's watching
he's
the
watching the
actual
Gumby.
Gumby cartoon.
Yeah.
And when they see the actual buildings that are on the Earth, half of them are shaped like a Gumby. When they go into the door, even, which this all take place in a toy store, and you see
Mm-hmm.
actual Gumby toys. You
Yeah.
see actual Gumby boxes of Gumby toys. So it's like Gumby is kind of in this
Gumby's
universe.
a thing. Yeah.
Gumby has taken over the world.
Gu-
Gumby is literally taken over the world.
okay. Yeah. So
Very
that's weird.
interesting.
For the sake of time, our next topic is characters. All I have to say about them is that they are all incredibly two dimensional. There's nothing special about really any of them.
One
The
character plot point. There's this yellow guy, whose hair covers his eyeballs, and so he
don't remember this
likes
guy.
to leap in the hay a lot, and so
Oh yes, I remember
they
him.
have
Yeah.
to make loud noises to wake him up because he's always asleep. That's the only character. I would say though, this probably would have made a lot more money at the box office if Eddie Murphy played Gumby in this
Why would
movie.
Eddie Murphy play Gumby? Where is this coming from? Is my question.
And I've never seen the Gumby Saturday Night Live skits where
I have not. I
where
will have to
Eddie
watch this.
Murphy plays
Yes.
Gumby. You'll have to
This
look
is
those
news
up.
to me. Holy cow. Okay.
So, so Gumby on Saturday Night
Gum
Live, Betty Murphy played the Gumby character for a couple of
plays Gumby.
so
Wow.
yes, and so and his first time hosting, which wasn't that long ago, he came back to the
Mm-hmm.
weekend update as the Gumby character. So he returned as
Wow.
Gumby.
Just
So
wow. Oh, all
first time
right.
character,
So,
he
yeah.
and he and he would have played the Gumby character before this movie came out, because he was in the cast in the 1980s cast, which is regarded as the worst cast of all
Oh,
time. But he
okay.
was a featured player, so
Yeah.
it would have worked. Probably would have saved this film. So they just needed
Sure.
to.
Let's,
Oh,
yeah,
another fact
sure.
I found.
Oh
Another
no.
fact I
I'm joking.
found online today. So the music of the film was originally supposed to be performed by performed by Michael Jackson. I don't know if that's true, but multiple people said that. I don't know if that's actually
Holy
true,
cow.
but
Okay.
multiple
That
people
is,
online have
that
said
is,
that. So, but it's not though. So I don't know.
yeah.
That's a
Wow.
big.
Just wow. Just wow.
Why would
About
he?
this entire movie, it's a
Why would he
wow.
come for this? Why
Yeah,
would
I
he?
mean, I get why he did it in the
Yeah.
end for sure, if that was ever in consideration. But wow. Okay, let's talk about our favorite character. Can I choose none, or is that like wrong?
I mean,
Uh,
you have to choose a favorite
I
character.
have
It's
to choose
funny.
one. All right, I'll do the grumpy. I'll do like the like bossy like yellow dinosaur guy because like I can relate to
Yeah,
that, I guess. Um,
my favorite part about the yellow dinosaur guy is when they're at the restaurant, and so the
Shrek.
waiter is a
It's a
robot, and
robot
so
for
he
no
jump in the
reason.
seat onto the yellow
Yeah. And
dinosaur.
these are
So
separate
my
robots from
favorite
the robots replacing everyone, by the way. These are just
separate
literal robots.
robot.
And he just wants his shake, and
Barbara.
that's relatable. We all just want to shake every once in a while. Come on. Yellow
Uh,
hashtag justice for yellow. What's his name?
I thought
He doesn't
for
have. He's
yellow
yellow dinosaur
dinosaur.
guy.
I don't know the other
Hashtag
name.
we love you, yellow dinosaur guy.
He has a name. I forgot it. But
Hashtag give yellow dinosaur
um,
guy a shake.
my favorite character is the either Gumby because he has a weird shaped him, or the alien who just watches
Who
Gumby
just
because that's
watches everything.
very relatable because he just watches TV.
He just watches TV. That's so relatable,
That's
man. Yep. Oh,
relatable.
and then favorite scene.
Favorite
Again, I
scene.
would love to choose none here, but Zion, you want to tell your favorite scene because I really got to think this over.
Okay,
I was not
so I
prepared for these
like the
questions.
scene. I like the montage where it's Gumby and the fangirl do the MTV music video,
Mm.
and there's also, if you watched the end credits of the film, they also have a montage there of just Gumby and characters, which some of the places they go to in the end credits look like way better places to go to than the actual places they end up going to in
Yeah,
the actual film. But those are my two favorite scenes. There's also the Star Wars scene, which that was pretty cool.
yeah.
But
I think I'm gonna go with the Star Wars scene because although it was weird and it was out of nowhere, I guess that was
it
kind
was
of
a
fun.
cool
I guess
set. It was a cool
it,
background,
it
you know.
yeah, it was a cool like
Yeah,
background for them to like because they had to make that and all that for the stop
yeah.
motion. So yeah, I'll go with that part. Um, I
Right.
think you've said plenty of bad things about
I've
this. Were
said
there any
plenty
other
bad.
ones you really need to shove in there before we got to our
I
ratings?
mean, I think I've said all the bad things, but
All right. Um, Cyan,
I'm gonna,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
let you rate this one first.
so I would have given this a much lower score, but last night I
Oh
watched
no.
the worst movie ever made. It's
Okay,
called
Zion,
Explorers. It's called no.
you promised
Hear
me
me
you
out,
wouldn't get into
y'all.
this again.
It's called it's called Explorers. People rated it very highly on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, but they're all wrong. It's really bad. The first part is boring, but then it just gets embarrassing. So, one I recommend, and that one was far worse. So I would probably give this like a 3.
Oh my gosh, Zion. No. You cannot be
That is
serious.
not that high.
That is
That's at the
high.
halfway.
A
No,
3. Think about that.
2.7.
Okay.
2.7. 2.7.
I still don't like that. That's still above
No
the
better.
halfway mark, but okay. Oh, I'm giving this
2.7.
my I don't this might be my first time ever doing this, but this is a solid 0 for me, and there's no doubt about it.
Oh, 0. Okay.
I have not. Are we allowed to go down to 0? I feel like we have to be because we would do a half star. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, no, this is a 0. There was, in
I
my
thought it was
opinion, no
1.5.
redeeming qualities to this, and I am sorry to the
Well,
filmmakers because I'm sure this took a long time to make, but
well,
no, this
hear
is a
me
solid
out.
0 for
So,
me.
I thought this was better than Citizen Kane and the live action Scooby Doo films because those were two horrible films. So,
I think those
that's why I
still,
gave it.
yeah, Citizen Kane was boring at
Citizen Kane
times,
was
and the
cool.
plot was not what you expected. But I can still admire Citizen Kane way more than I can admire the Gumby movie. And um, I'm 90% sure that I gave Scooby Doo a higher rating than Citizen
Yes, you
Kane.
did. Yes, you did. Yes,
So
you did.
I don't even have
You
to
forgot
defend the
about
Scooby Doo one.
the burp scene in the Scooby
I
Doo film.
know, I know, I
There's
know.
a burp
But
scene.
yeah, so
The
the
burp
Gumby
scene
movie.
was the burp scene in the live action Scooby Doo film was probably worse than this entire film alone. Just the burp scene in the live action Scooby Doo film because I hate that burp scene. I
I can maybe agree with that, but Scooby Doo has a lot more redeeming qualities to it in my so yeah.
well, those are your opinions.
The I can't even say his name. The Gumby movie
The
is bad.
Bundy movie
The
because that would
Bumby, the
be an
Gumby,
entirely different movie. It was if it was the Bundy.
the
Uh,
Bundy movie. I know we'd be taught this would be a
that would be
much
an
different
entirely
review.
much different movie. What?
Yes, it would be very. Yeah. So do me a favor. Don't watch the Gumby movie. Uh,
no.
Yeah, this one's not recommended. I know we recommend a lot of these movies. We say that sometimes it's so bad it's good, and you should just watch it for the entertainment value. But this one's just so bad that it's actually bad for once.
I don't know
Um,
if I should pull out Mac and Me for this season, just to also give you another bad movie, but
I don't
I
know.
might
Mac
save
and
it
Me.
for.
I think Mac and Me is on the level of so bad it's good. Is the thing though.
He,
This is on the level
he
of
hasn't
so bad
actually
it's
watched
bad.
it. So.
So yeah, I haven't
Or
actually watched it,
pull out
but
Explorers, or pull out Explorers.
y'all get 2 more movies of the season at the time of us recording, and I believe that we're gonna try to keep
Well,
these all in order.
we have,
Oh,
and then we have
three.
3. Yeah.
I'm gonna redact in post what you just said so that they don't know what next week's movie is. But yeah,
Okay.
you guys have 3 more movies before the big season finale. We will see you guys next week. We hope you enjoyed this episode because we did not enjoy preparing for this episode.
I
Man, this
enjoyed it,
Gumby
but
movie was the Gummy movie. Oh, this was the worst
I,
hour and a half. It was so bad that I had to stop halfway through and go watch the Olympics just to cleanse my eyes for a little bit, and then I
you
came
watched
back.
the Olympics?
Yes, and it was much more enjoyable than the Gumby movie.
No,
So
girl. Okay. But
yeah,
anyways, goodbye,
thanks for
y'all.
watching, y'all.